Right, right. I'm Marilyn Ford, and I'm Matthew's auntie. I'm his mom's sister, and I'm the middle child. So Matthew's mother is younger, and we have an older brother, Mitchell, and his son was able to join us today, which was really nice. It was really nice to see how the kids get along. Because when you were younger, it was not as consistent. Somebody might be tired. It would have been nap time, and now you're all in college, and it's fun to see that. You're, young adults. It's really nice.
What traditions do you remember Grandma and Papa doing with you and Mom and Uncle Mitchell every year? Or if that's not a good enough question, like what activity do you think Grandma and Papa would have been disappointed that didn't happen during the year?
Well, Thanksgiving was a big one, and I was just talking to Grandma about that the other day. I just didn't know how she did all that. She did everything. She worked full time. She made everything from scratch. She had everybody in. And when I was growing up, there were always other people there, not just our immediate family, but they always invited somebody else. You've met some of them through the years, just some friends of theirs. And so I think of Thanksgiving and holidays as that kind of a tradition with them.
Any anything smaller where it was like something that happened weekly or monthly or maybe like a yearly thing besides holidays that would happen?
Oh, tradition like weekly?
Or just something that, like I said, Grandma and Papa would be disappointed.
Oh, well,
didn't occur.
Well, we went to church as a family every Sunday, and so even when we were on vacation, so they think they would definitely be disappointed if we didn't do that. And I can remember going in pants and a shirt one time as a kid, and in my generation, in those days, you always wore skirts and dresses to school, and then I can remember when we started to be able to wear pants to school, so wearing pants to church was, a little casual, but we were on vacation, and I can distinctly remember the outfit. It sounds ridiculous.
What do you remember the most or miss the most about being with Grandma and Papa and my mom and Uncle Mitchell? Like, what's one activity that you just always kind of think about sometimes?
Oh, I do think of the holidays and getting together as a family. And like this last year and a half, we've seemed like we've done a lot more family gatherings, and that's been special.
So, being a mother, you're obviously going to want to impose some sort of traditions on your children. What can you think of anything off the top of your head that if this didn't happen this year, I would be greatly disappointed?
Well, again, going to church Christmas Eve and getting together with family, either Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or both. And last year we went and saw the other side, my husband's family, and so I thought that was important for the kids, but then I was going to miss everybody here, and it turned out we were able to get back in time to do, we did both. So we had gone to California for Christmas, early Christmas celebration, Christmas Eve, and they came back here.
And then when you and my mother are the eventual grandparents of the family, what would you hope Nick and Liz do with their kids?
Well,
just continue the whole family tradition of getting together on Thanksgiving and Christmas and going to church.
I hope we can. I hope we can continue to get together as a group, and I think the group will get a little larger as everybody gets significant others and someday gets married and has children. So I hope we can still continue to get together. I've noticed that the last few years it's getting harder. People going different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And things. Even this year is a perfect example. Uncle Mitch and Aunt Nancy are in California, and so they weren't here today, but they have their other family too, so they're sweet. It was a smaller, quieter crowd, but then we miss them. But we've seen them a lot this last year. Now, of course, we didn't see. We haven't seen you and your sister and Lizzie as much because you're away at school. So when you guys come back, it's always good to get together. And I guess if people are living out of town, I hope we can gather someplace, even if it's not Phoenix. If we could get together, as a group. I hope we really make an effort to do that, because I think it's important. Well, when we were growing up, the family, this is back to the whole family, we would go out to see my grandparents in a suburb of Chicago called Glen Ellen. We'd go out there. It seemed like every Sunday, and everybody was out there. Now, it might not have been that often, but it did seem like it. The one thing we had a tradition of doing up until the last year or two at before Christmas time was go to tea. And we were waiting till your sister and my daughter got old enough and we were going to do that. Now, it seemed like the last couple of years we just haven't done that. So it was like a girls-only kind of event.
And is that something you would want to? And I know that's has there been plans for this year or?
Well, this year we're going to do just something different. Your mom and grandma are going to go with your mom's good friend and her mom. So it's just a smaller group. Usually there's a few more of us. And we did this when Nana was alive. We'd go to tea. There were 6 or 8 of us, and a small enough group, but yet it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were, kind of looking forward to the day, like I said, your sister and my daughter, but we wanted to be able to them to be old enough to appreciate it.
Or something you wish you had started as a tradition when Nickens were really young, or maybe had introduced something to the family, saying, "Hey, maybe we should do this every year," or if gathering with the families during the holiday season and during Easter and everything is enough.
That's a really good question, Matthew. I wish, I had a little more enthusiasm about traveling further. It seemed like both the kids have had some opportunities to do that. And when they were younger, I wasn't as comfortable doing that. And we went back to Minnesota a few times, but not on any regular basis. It was just out of my comfort zone.